Hello again, everyone. I need to make a baby card today. This is a friend asked me to do it for friends of theirs. And I have made various cards for this family before now. I did make a card for their wedding. The husband was a professor of medieval English at Oxford, or some subject closely aligned to that. So I did a bit of research, found the word for marriage in Old English, had that cut it on my machine, had that on the front with their initials, with an Old English font, all embossed in gold. Anyway, long story short, they loved the card and it is framed and hanging on their wall, been there since they were married. I made a card for their firstborn, a son called Theodore, and that apparently is also on the wall. So now they have a daughter, and I've been asked to make a card for her as well. Her name is one that I haven't actually come across before. It is Kitri Hope. Kitri Hope. French name. I'm not sure if the mum is French, but I know that the couple were married in France. So how that's going to fit on the card, not quite sure. Don't know if I'm going to print it, do it on my electronic machine. I don't know. It depends where the card goes, how much space I've got, etc., etc. So that's going to have to wait for a while. But I want to do something I've never done before, and that's continue in the vein of my last couple of cards and try and make it a mixed media-y one. Never done one for a baby before, so we'll just kind of see how we go. And my colour scheme is going to be pink and silver, grey and silver. So I'm just hoping that's going to work out. I have chosen Spun Sugar, which is a really, really gentle pink, a lovely soft pink. So, same stencil from Crafters Workshop, just going to get some colour onto the back of my card, onto the background of my card. Thought I might use some of the other shapes this time as well as, so let's just see how we go. So here's my Spun Sugar. It's going to be the same kind of layout. Why quit if it ain't broken kind of thing. So the couple won't have seen my other designs. They're going to be similar sort of layout. So hoping it's going to work for this. I'm hoping that I'm going to have space for the name in the top corner. We will see. I also want to put the date on, which is kind of significant to my design because she was born on Valentine's Day, which is why I want to get some hearts into the design. My thoughts for the actual top image is of a teddy sitting in the moon, holding a bunch of hearts, kind of like that. So the moon is from Stamp Kitchen. The teddy is from Gummiapan. So we'll see how we go. Let's have a bit more of this one here. Take it a little higher. And where it overlaps, of course, you get a greater intensity of colour, which is rather nice. And I thought we'd try and get this kind of going round there, like this. Let's see how we go. The father is also a musician, so I think the tissue paper with the music on, a little bit of that is going to come into this as well. So let's just see how we go and what happens. Reminds me of New Zealand, that does, for some reason. It's funny, isn't it? Right, let's have this little tail going up here. Okay. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Okay, now let's do a little bit of stamping. I wonder if I should do a little bit of stamping in pink. Now, where's that little stamp I used? Again, this is that same little sort of scribbly circles. Let's get a block for this. Put some of this in the same pink, I think, and just see what happens. It's quite nice. Oh, right. Now, let's do a little stamping. That might be quite nice in holographs. There's some separate, they're supposed to be cracked glass, but they make kind of a nice, you know, almost like a starburst sort of thing. So if we could have one of those there, let me get a block for that. I'd forgotten I'd got these. Now I'd need Versamark for this, and I need to just find an appropriate embossing powder. This one is very old and it's just a holographic one. Let me try it on a piece of scrap and see what it looks like. Look at this over here. I think that might work. Let's try some. Let's try some on here. I think this is the smaller one, which is what I would prefer actually. Right, let's try this. Couldn't remember where I put it. I think it's going to need one more, and it looks like this powder could do with sieving. Got some extraneous objects in it. Must have had it for about 15 years. Right, just have to heat set this. I think this will need one more up here somewhere, so let's do that. Okay. Let's just see where this is going to fit. I'm going to stack these two together. And we're going to have the bear sitting on there. Down here, I feel. And perhaps the hearts can go that way. I've got a whole bunch, I've got it all cut out here. I didn't take them out of the thing because I thought, well, it doesn't matter. I was going to say I could just colour the, if we have those going through his, under his arm, like he's just holding them, or she. Have a bunch of these, can't we? Now we've got to have room for the name and the date. I think we might manage. Right, let me get some bits of the music on next, some bits of this. Right, my water brush. See what it looks like first. I think it might be okay. Let's just do some more. The grandpa of this little girl is an amazing musician, fabulous pianist. Been répétiteur at various places. He's astonishing. Have a long bit. This paper's been so useful. I have to use it while I've got it. I'll just stick these on. I can, if the tissue will take it. I do like to put the glue on the back. Somebody said, why don't you just glue the card? I do sometimes if I really can't, you know, cope with the tissue paper, but to do it itself means it gets a good soaking on the back, so it, you know, sticks well. And that one's kind of broken a little bit, so maybe I will just do this. I do it sometimes, but you don't get as much glue onto the actual tissue this way as if you do it on the back first, but it is a whole lot easier. See, that one's a bit messy, a bit fragile. I think there were different kinds of tissue actually that Julie stamped for me, so some may be a bit more vulnerable than others. Let's just get that bit off. There we go. That's fine. Right. Perhaps do this one, little Paris stamp. So this a few places. Which way up is it? This is an old Stampin' Up one. Oh, the Paris goes at the top. Okay. Let's see what it's like with pink. Try again. It's not showing much, but it's fine. It's very subtle. Right, let's do the bear for the minute. Put this away for a moment, and we'll have a little go with the bear. I'm going to put the two bits of the moon together, just stick those together. So I'll use some glue for that. And I'd like the moon to be twinkly, so I'm going to cover that with this glue. This is Zig. It's very good for getting twinkle to stick to it. So there's our moon. Now, the bear, he's in pieces. He's got a body, he's got two legs, he's got a snout. I think that's kind of it. So I will need to have some white behind, either to put the eyes back in or just a piece of white behind it. And I think I'll do that because that's going to be easier, because I want to draw those eyes so that they are recessed. So let's just put a little piece of card behind. All right, he's got eyes now. That's often easier than trying to get these tiny, these things back in there. I'll cut his hands off, his arms off. They're going to be on the back layer. Don't need these. So that's going to go on the top of there. Yes, that's fine. Okay, I'll stick that on there. Shall I colour it first? Let's colour his ears. I picked out a pink, a very pale pink. This is RV010. Just check the colour. That'll be fine. So inside his ears, doesn't matter if I come down onto the face, because that's going over the top. I have a pink tummy. I'm not going to cut this out, I'm just going to keep it pink. but I'm not going to have the extra layer on the front. Right, that's going to go onto there. Like that. And then the pads of the feet can be pink as well. There's one. And here's the other. Which way round do they go? I think I'll draw the little eyes before we get much further. Okay, that's going to go over there. Where's the snout? Here it is. That was the nose bit, just fell out. That could do with being pink. Okay. If I put a tiny bit of tape on the back there, I can pop that nose into it. Right, let's stick this. I think I will do just a tiny bit of shading. Use my very palest grey, which is CG, like a Roman numeral 200. So let's have a little bit of shading around here. Under the chin. The snout's going to go there. We're under the arm. And that arm there. I'll put it underneath this arm here too. Around the side. Under this arm. Okay. And that's not going to be shown. The inside, this bit of the ear will though, and that bit of the ear will. Right, let's stick this bit on. I'm thinking I may colour the tips of the hearts pink and twinkle those. Fade that out just a little bit. There we go. Now to stick the snout on. Get it the right way up, otherwise it's going to look miserable. Just sweetie, look. Oh my. So sweet. Right, let's colour some of these in. How many shall we have? 3 or 4? These are a bit big, perhaps. Maybe just have 3. So I'll colour the tips and then twinkle them. Now I'll twinkle them. This is just the glue again. Okay, here's the twinkle. This is just ultra fine glitter. There, they're all twinkled and pretty. Right. The bear himself, I think, can have a bit of this sparkle on. It's just a shimmer pen. It's not so in your face as the twinkle with glitter, but it just gives a nice sheen and a touch of twinkle, which I think is really rather nice. Okay. Oh, yes. Makes a huge difference, that does. It's here. I need to make the name to see where that goes. Let me go and do the name. Let me go and write the name. I think I may do it on the computer and just print it. I'll be back with the name in a moment. Well, I've done the name and the birth date. I found this little lovely little die from one of the Gummiapan advent calendars. So what I did was went to the computer with this, which is just the window from cutting one of those things. Had my screen set to the exact size of my piece of card, went round it and just ensured that it fitted. I tried this colour grey, and when it was printed it was not deep enough. Went a bit darker, tried this one, still not dark enough, because I was comparing this to the other stuff that was on the card. Finally got it dark enough. So to cut it out, I surrounded it like this with my window, stuck it down, popped the die, which is in my hand, popped it into the gap and just ran it through the machine. So that's how I managed to get that absolutely centered in there. So that's that one. I think I may well have that up onto foam tape. And I wondered what was missing here, and I haven't got my embossing, have I? So I will just do a little bit of that now, coming down here. And I've chosen letters. I thought they were kind of, ABC was kind of suitable for a nursery. So, a little embossing paste. And we'll just pop this over here. This is the Gummiapan one again. I don't know if they've got it in stock or whether it's temporarily out, but I'm sure it will be restocked. If not, it's number 29 Gummiapan. Okay. Right, I think I might... I'm not sure whether to put any twinkle on that or not, actually. I'll just have a little look. I'll compare the look of the moon with it. Might be too much. Yes, I think I'll leave it just white without twinkling it, because I've got some of the twinkle with these things, well, they're supposed to be shattered glass or something. I'm just going to clean my stencil. Let's pop this onto here with some foam tape. I'm off to Retford this weekend to an Andy Skinner workshop. Bit daunting, but I'm sure we'll have fun. And I discovered that Irene, whom I met at Kenilworth the other weekend, is going as well. So that's going to be fabulous. Be nice to see a face that I know. So I'm going to come back with all sorts of weird and wonderful techniques, I'm sure. I thought it was going to be like watercolouring stuff of his sort of stamps, but I think it's going to be 3D creations. So it's going to be interesting. Okay. And the font I used for this is called French Script, which I thought was kind of appropriate. I'm going to have to wait until that embossing has dried. It won't be long. It won't be long. It's my homemade embossing dries really quickly. And then I'll be sticking on the moon and the bear. I think the moon might just stand up like this, actually. I can be putting some tape onto this, can't I? The alternative is to cut it from some foam sheet. Various companies do this kind of thing, which is it's about the thickness of foam tape, maybe a trifle skinnier. Oh, no, I don't know, actually. It's about the same. And you just pop that. Oh, let's do it. Let's try it. Cut it from foam sheet. I think it's the same sandwich as anything else. Let's have a look. I was thinking of doing, bits of foam tape behind, but these points are quite, delicate, really, and this should support it far better. So let's see. Take off the top layer. There we go. I will just put some glue on it, otherwise it'll be sticking before I'm ready for it. Sticking to my fingers. I hope that's the right way, actually. I think there's a right way and a wrong way for this, this die. Yep, got it right. Bit of luck. So this is going to make it stand out. So all I need to do now is peel off the back layer and the whole thing can be stuck on. Let's just see where the old bear's going to go. About there, I think. I have a fancy for putting a few stars on here as well. So, oh, that one got caught in. I fancy some stars. Whether I think the stars might be, I did wonder about silver, or they may be twinkled like that. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. That's got to go onto foam tape as well. And the foam tape can probably hold the stalks of these hearts in position. I just chop them off a bit, I think. Let's put some foam tape on the back of him. I'll stick him down. I did cut out a little bear, a little bunny, whether he might go somewhere or not, I don't know. Just put a piece of double-sided sticky on the back of here. These are memory box stars. Just going to cut them out. There they are. Now I'm going to glue them and twinkle them. If the back's still on, take off the back and stick down. Feels as if I'm getting a cold, another cold. Had a few this winter. I think I'm going to do the same with the edge because this is watercolour paper, this is not. So I'm going to just drag some glue around the edge and twinkle the edge as well. It's going to be all twinkle, isn't it? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, my goodness. Right, let's do this. Ooh. These glues often go on blue, but dry clear. So I think we're done. I'm just going to wait a little longer for the glue and everything to feel totally set before I pop it onto the card base. But there's my birth congratulations card for a little girl called Kitri, with her date of birth in Roman numerals. And I hope both my friend and the recipients will like my efforts. So do come back and see me very soon. As I say, I won't be around next weekend as I'm going to Andy Skinner's workshop. So thank you for watching and come back and see me very soon.